new date for our foundation dinner. Peter has informed me that be using same software we're using on the golf tournament to allow people to RSVP and indicate dinner choice. Again, that's a reschedule. Location will be Palo Verde Restaurant, but February the 22nd, it is a Tuesday, and Dick Thomas and Bob Phillips will be leading the meeting that night. So please follow up when you get that invitation and confirm that you will be attending. Hopefully we'll have a good turnout. Fireside chat, we had to recently reschedule one of our planned fireside chats due to people saying, I'm not quite ready to get together in a small group and have that discussion. So that will be reevaluated here in February and hopefully get rescheduled, and we'll get that information out to those people that were in the previous group that were going to be participating there. I would like to take a moment and introduce this week's guest speaker, Colleen Coons. Colleen is a California native, U.S. Army veteran, and recently retired in March of 21 after a distinguished 29-year career with UPS as their director in international districts. Responsible for growing U.S. exports, imports, and country-to-country moves through leading her team of over 110 international account managers. They worked with large UPS clients to enhance their profits by maximizing supply chain through shortened cash-to-cash cycles and better asset utilization. Colleen is now a Rotarian in the Mesa West Club and has been since 2018. And most recently in October of 2021, became the district Rotaract chair for Arizona Rotaract, part of the MDIO in the Big West Rotaract. Her journey to Rotary came through her new marriage to longtime Rotarian Dan Coons and his introduction to youth exchange. Her boys had the opportunity to select and study abroad. Her eldest, Ryan, went to Japan in 2017, and Nicholas went to Taiwan in 2018. Her husband, Dan, is currently the president of the Mesa West Rotary Club, serving a second term as president. And Colleen acknowledges she is a very supportive first lady. Chuckle, chuckle. So I'm not quite sure how all those details work, but that's terrific. She is here to share what is going on with District 5495 Rotaract today and opportunities for the future. Please join me in welcoming Colleen as this week's guest speaker.
Wow, thank you. I think I wrote that, huh?
Yes, you did. I didn't know all of that before you gave it to me. I can tell you that. So.
Maybe I need to cut it down. Anyway, first of all, thank you for having me, John. My impression of you and your club goes back when I was announced as the district chair. And I first want to thank you. Not only thank you, John, but thank your club, because in the last 90 days, what I have found, given COVID, given the lack of the ability to come together and do service, given the bandwidth of young adults, right, and the ability to come back to what they used to do, Rotaract in our district almost died. And I will tell you that if it were not for you and your Sun Lakes Club, ASU, which is our only strong club right now, would have probably perished, and we wouldn't be where we are today with Rotaract, nor where we're going. So I want to first thank you. I know Brett wants to thank you, Elizabeth wants to thank you, and all the DG lines that are coming up, because we now have a plan for Rotaract. But if it weren't for you and Sun Lakes Club sitting in that 6:30 meeting at ASU, I'm not sure where we'd be. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna share a presentation that I created. And originally the mindset was to create a presentation to talk to Rotaractors. And then as I in the last 90 days, I figured out the path that I needed to take. I also kind of now talk to Rotarians and then also potential advisors. So keep in mind, Rotarian, Rotaractors, and potential advisors. And I am going to go ahead and share my screen. Sorry, it wasn't at the top. Can everybody see this? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about what's new with Rotaract, why Rotaract people join Rotaract, who is Rotaract, our vision, our North Star. We have a district council. In the last 90 days, we were able to put together people and club sponsors and services, and then any questions that you may have. I'm so proud of this team and what they've been able to accomplish in the short amount of time. And I will share that coming from corporate America, where you have paid employees, and I'm sure some of you can relate to this. It's interesting working with people that are paid versus working with an organization where it's all volunteers. And I am so happy that the life of working with volunteers is so much better because you want to do this. You want to do this job. And I would take nonprofit any day of the week. I wish I would have had my aha a little bit sooner in life. So who is Rotaract? Did you guys know that Rotaract is over 200,000 Rotaractors in over 10,000 clubs in 180 countries? I was like, whoa, you know, I know Rotarians, I've been a Rotarian for a couple of years, but Rotaractors, and they're either a university-based club or a community-based club. And what does that mean? Here in the United States, we are the only country that have Rotaractors in the university, so such as ASU, GCU. Every country outside of the US has community-based clubs. And from my understanding, they go from Interact to Rotaract to Rotary. So very interesting tidbit. It'll come up during the presentation. And obviously our mission is the same mission as all Rotarians, to do good in the world. So what's new in 2022? I believe, now I'm not at the table and I'm not in the room, but this is what I assume. Since Rotary membership has been stagnant for quite some time, Rotary International is looking to the future to figure out how do we keep Rotary alive? Because ultimately our mission is phenomenal, right? And it's global. So Rotaract has been elevated to a Rotary Club status. What does that mean? Well, in the past, Rotaract used to be under Youth Services, which is Youth Services, then Interact, then RILA, then Youth Exchange, and Rotaract. And that was a program within Rotary. Today, a Rotaract club has been elevated to Rotary Club status, which allows for the same support that the Rotary clubs get, such as district grants, global grants, new exchange, plus the, I guess the administration at a Rotary International perspective. Rotaract clubs get the same level of service. More importantly, they're trying to figure out how you make Rotaract have the same experience that a Rotarian has. And when you have a university-based club, the turnover is every 4 years. And there's good and bad to that, right? So they have to come up with a couple of strategies to fit the university as well as the community-based clubs. Brett, and then Larry, and then Kevin, the district governors have the ability to grant a Rotaractor dual membership. And so why is that important? You're like, hey, so remember the day when you graduated high school, you're 18, and you didn't know what you wanted to do in life. And so some of you went to college, like let's say ASU, and they have a club there called Rotaract. So you may join. But you're at ASU and you're a poor starving student, right? And then when you graduate ASU, you still may be a poor, starving graduated student. Well, that gap between Rotaract to Rotary is a huge gap. Typically, a college student that is just starting out in their career may not have the money to be able to join a Rotary club. And so what Rotary believes is if you can keep a Rotaractor in the Rotary family, they can still stay a Rotaractor. They are granted dual membership. I'm still poor and starving. I finally get my job. I start to have a family. I'm still a Rotarian. And now when I plant my tree where I'm going to stay, I can go find that Rotary club. And now I can go afford that Rotary club. But if you didn't have dual membership status, that gap, when you leave Rotary, trying to get you back is probably 40 years. So that continuity of membership is important, and service is always front of mind. And then I already shared their offered district grants. Arizona Rotaract is part of the MDIO, which is a multi-district information organization. So the Big West Rotaract is a nonprofit in California, and they have 3 zones with 30 clubs, I believe, that are part of this MDIO. And here's the reason: we have maybe 6 Rotaract clubs. ASU by far is the one that's keeping us alive, and the rest of the clubs we're trying to create or rebuild, if you will. And then there'll be more to come as Rotaract develops. So why do they join Rotaract, right? You take your mindset down to an 18-year-old, I've graduated high school, and they join Rotaract because they want to be around like-minded people, right? They've branched off their wings from their parents, and we all know Rotarians live by the 4-way test. So their kids probably want to live by the 4-way test. They want to develop friendships, their openness to change. And we all know college students, when you listen to them, or young adults, you listen to them and you're like, wow, didn't think about it that way, right? So, and currently right now, it's 18 and over. Then they also join Rotaract and become a dual member for peace fellowships, for district grants, for global grants, for Rotary Community Corps, New Generations Exchange, and global networking. So imagine I am 22 years old and I want to go to Germany, and I'm a Rotarian. We all know the Rotary Friendship Exchange. So there's so many benefits for a Rotaractor to stay a Rotarian. Then who are Rotaractors? You know, some people think they're just college students, right? But if you remember, it's 18 and over. So I picked 4 out of the 200,000 Rotaractors that we had this year. I picked 4 that I want to share with you. Eagle, she's 27 years old. She is the president of Rotaract in Chicago, Illinois. And she works for the Consulate General for the Republic of Lithuania. Then you have Michael, who's a Rotarian in Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. That's where I took my basic training. He's an investment banker, and really he doesn't do financial advising. He does asset utilization or asset lending to big companies. Then you have the economist. She's Nicole. She's 23 years old, and she belongs to Rotaract in Guyana. And she helps advise the country on, obviously, money matters. And then there's the mediator, Joan, who works in Uganda. She's 26 years old. And her story, I can send you all their stories. They're pretty great. But Joan's story is that she's not a lawyer by the definition. She's a mediator. And she said that being a Rotaractor, being a young interactor and then a Rotaractor, has helped her in her position through conflict resolution. And that's what she does today in her country. Pretty exciting. So those are some of the great Rotaractors that we have out of the 200,000. And I'm challenging our Arizona Rotaract to be highlighted as one of the Rotaractors. And then we could go, yeah, from Arizona. Okay, so what's our vision? Again, in the last 90 days, what I realized is that we have 70 clubs of interactors. Art Harrington does a phenomenal job, and we have 70 high schools that have interact clubs. So that opportunity is to take interactors to Rotaractors. And today, we don't even have any platform. When they graduate high school, it's like, see ya. So ASU, probably with the help of John, the two ASU students, they created a committee that are working with the interactors in Arizona, and they've created a form that allows them to fill them out and let you know what college you're going to or where you're going. And then we're going to plug it into hopefully this map that will tell us where the Rotaract clubs are. We're going to help bridge that gap. The vision would be to create like an app or a technology tool where an interactor can go and boom, these clubs come up. But here's what's even awesome. Now they know they're going to ASU. And wouldn't it be cool on move-in day that the ASU Rotaract Club is there to greet you and to help you move into your college dorms, which are overwhelming at least, right? And that could be anywhere in the country. So that's the vision. We're getting there, but that's the opportunity. And then again, through dual membership, how do we go from Rotaract to Rotary? And that's the challenge, is making sure that we keep the interactors as Rotarians as they journey through their lives. So this is our North Star. I talk about membership. We're all surrounded by service. And what I found in the last 90 days is the awareness. And I do know that like-minded people all working together can accomplish wonderful things. And so if we can keep, I'm sorry if I use the word if we can keep the awareness of what's going on with our young adults, it inspires, and at least you know what's going on and how we're going to keep them in the Rotary channel. So when I was tapped on the shoulder, I mean, John, when he said, I was tapped on the shoulder, probably like every one of you that have taken on a position within either your club, the district, the zone, whatever you did with Rotary, it was like, oh, hey, Sharon, I'm going to pick on you just because I see you right there. But hey, Sharon, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just enjoying my retirement. Would you be interested in like Rotaract? Well, yeah, I don't know how to spell it, but yeah, I guess I would be interested. So after Brett came to our club, that's what he said to me. Would you be interested? And then I said, sure. He goes, I'll get you more information. And then the club presidents and the board has the meeting with the district governor. So my husband came home and he's like, hey, honey, I hear you're the district Rotaract chair. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was. Okay. Let me figure out how to spell Rotaract. So there's, Rotary International has like a million things you can learn, right? So I've read my Rotaract handbook like 17 times. Very interesting. So we developed a district council, and I'll show you how we did it. It's so fun. It's an incredible feeling when you travel to your North Star and you just go step by step, and every step is just an amazing feeling because you're moving towards that North Star. So our district council's North Star is to promote Rotaract in our district, new club creation in our district, and support for local Rotaract clubs. We needed to create a council and our North Star just so that the Rotaractors that participate on this council understand that their objectives are a little bit different than from the club. So we promote, we create, and we support. Everything we do as a council goes to those three words. So here's our district council. It's a work in progress. Nothing's ever finalized because as I share with our team, everything is grassroots. We didn't have a council. Oh, and by the way, we didn't have a district Rotaract chair since 2002. So everything I do is new. Yeah, exactly. So I was anointed the chair, and Leslie Balderas has been the DRR, and she's a Rotaractor, and she has been since 2012. She is high energy. She loves Rotaract. She is in her last year of getting her doctorate degree in audiology, and she really wants to pass the baton. And when COVID hit, literally all clubs died except for ASU. So we have now a director of marketing, a director of membership. We're looking for a director of training. We have a director of communications, and you can see that we also have District 5500. And the reason why we have that is if you're an interactor here in Arizona, Arizona has a phenomenal scholarship program where you can go to ASU, NAU, and U of A. And so we wanted to make sure that we brought in our Tucson people because we didn't want that vision of pulling interactors into Rotaract to go by the wayside if you went to U of A. So they have joined our council as well. And then we have the Interact liaison. Here's our club status today. We have 30 members at ASU. You all know Dora Lee, she's phenomenal. GCU was just chartered or rechartered. So what happens with the university is if they don't have a succession plan, which we're in the process of creating, they don't have a good succession plan, that energetic, great leader of a president, when they graduate and there's no succession planning, the club dies. So we're in the process of, Jody is a freshman and she is at GCU and she is all about Rotaract. And she went from her finding an advisor to 10 members, and it's growing. Embry-Riddle is a little unique. They have their Prescott campus, lots of military people that want to go into the military. They're 42 members strong, but they are actually called Silver Wings, which is a nonprofit for Embry-Riddle. And they do service projects with Rotary, so hence they're a chartered Rotaract club. Benedictine University, we just named a president. Well, actually Kevin, who is at Benedictine University and the president of Mesa Club, just named a president. We have Flagstaff that needs to restart. Chandler Community, Joseph Kasky, who is not in college, is working with Chandler Horizon to start a community club. Colton Cagle is also going to start a community club, and we're hoping that we can find somebody to kick off Phoenix North as a community club. The reason why community clubs are so critical is not everyone that graduates high school goes to college. So what do you do if you're not at college? You leave the Rotary family. So if we can establish community clubs in the key areas, at least a graduating high school student could go to Rotaract and still have the 4-way test and the service mindedness while they're going through either a trade school, working, whatever it is that the high schoolers want to go. So because we said that, we now have a plan or a future plan to establish, like I said, the Chandler Rotaract Club. That should be started up in probably, I would say, by February, March. Australia, I know I've pronounced that wrong, but they would like to start one. Mike Flores and Gilbert would like to start one, and Yavapai County would like to start a community club as well. Community clubs, I believe, especially with the way that college is going, community clubs are so critical to the Rotary family because it allows somebody to stay in that club when when they graduate or after they graduate as well. So it all starts with, now remember, I just put on this hat. This hat hasn't been filled since 2002. And we have one strong club, ASU. And then we have all these other clubs that would like to start doing service, but they don't have members. So we backed up and we said, okay, let's create some marketing flyers. Well, even before you create some marketing flyers, you got to create a website, which is that QR code there. Our website should be up, I would say, within the next week or two. What's awesome about our website is that the Big West Rotaract is a nonprofit, and they've gotten grants from Google, they've gotten grants from Amazon, and they've gotten monetary grants from other organizations that fund our ability to create a website on a program called WordPress. So the District 5500 co-chair is also a website hosting company. That's his business. So what he has also agreed to do is take, I may be getting too technical and I'm not a technical person, but he's going to take the ability to put our website on his servers, which now will allow every club to have their domain. So it'll be ASU Rotaract or ASU at azrotaract.org, or it'll be gcurotaract.org. I don't know how we're going to do it, but every club will have its own unique domain. So that's where we're working towards next year as well. So now once we have a QR code and now we have postcards, I can give some to John. We can, when we go to coffee clubs or coffee shops, we can go pin one up. Or when you guys have your relatives that live out here that are between 18 and they are not in Rotary, if they want to join Rotaract, you can give them this card and then they can go look at our website and see if they want to join. Not everybody likes cranberry, right? By the way, that's our Rotaract official color is cranberry. So here are a couple of more pinups. Again, I plan to go to Panera, I plan to go to Starbucks, I plan to go down to downtown Chandler. There's all these little cute community, but these are some of the marketing tools that we're going to be using to hopefully spread the word of, hey, you should join Rotary or Rotaract. This is hopefully also going to help Chandler community to gather more members. Right now, they're at 8. And if they can get more community members that are working adults, we're going to take that same playbook and do it in the other communities. So, like I said, when I was anointed in October, it was just me and ASU. And I think ASU is actually the club that pushed the district. Elizabeth was high into Rotaract, but COVID hit our district at that time. So then Brett continued it, and I think ASU pushed it because they kept asking Brett all these questions. And so it happened about the time that there was the institute, the Zone Institute in Tucson. I'm not sure if any of you went to that, but part of that was a Zoom call with the Big West Rotaract, which, by the way, I had no idea who they were. So I asked ASU if they were going, and they're like, no, it's too expensive. We can't afford to go to Tucson. So I said, okay, here's the deal. And this is where the First Lady comes in, I will host an overnight fun event. I'm an empty nester. I have 3 extra bedrooms. We put boys in one room, girls in the other. You have your own private area, and I will make homemade pasta. And I've learned that the way to college students is through their stomach. So I made desserts, I made pasta, I made salad, and oh, by the way, my pasta's homemade from my own KitchenAid. And then the next day, we invited Chris Kruger, who's our district membership chair, and she came over and made waffles. Dora doesn't like to wake up in the morning. So John, when you see her, you can harass her about how was her waffle because she was half asleep. And then we had a fireside chat. Thank goodness my husband was the Rotarian and he had a fireside chat with them. And so it was small, but the beauty of this was it got 3 people to say, hey, I want to join your council. I was so ecstatic. Yeah. So hopefully we could make this a annual event. Oops. Let's see where I'm at. So again, I just want to say thank you. So here is something that your guys are going to go, well, wait a second. Hey, Colleen, we sponsor ASU. And you do. And you will get the credit. The next time I talk to you, I promise it'll say Sun Lakes up there. The reason being is when I first got this job, I went to RI, downloaded the forms, and this is the information I got. There's a couple of clubs that Dora doesn't really work with. So I know because we're a Rotary, we're elevated to Rotary status, I get to use the same admin group to change the official sponsorship, which I will do in the next week or so. But just want to thank you again for sponsorship because it is critical. So this was achieved. This was actually created when I first took on this role. And most of this is already there. We will be at the district conference. We're trying to figure out a service project that we can do nationwide, or not nationwide, statewide. And we're looking for ways to always grow. So we don't always have the answers. So always willing. But if I can have an ask of you, when I get our postcards pinned up, if I can give you some, and I would love to come and have breakfast when we're meeting again and pass out these cards. And hopefully you guys can help me pin them up, give them to your nieces, your nephews, your daughters, your grandkids, anybody over 18 that would like to be part of the Rotaract family. Much different brand than the Rotary, but we're all the same. I think that was our invocation as well. So we all have common goals. With that, I talked a lot, which my husband always accuses me of.
We'll see if comments or questions from anybody. I just want to start with acknowledging Colleen. Thank you so much for answering that tap on the shoulder. I asked the question a couple of years ago, and there wasn't somebody at the district level at that time. So thank you so much for filling that role. And I want to, as soon as you start naming names, you're going to forget some people, but I want to acknowledge Dan Kaufman and Peter Mead, and I believe Bill Crump, and maybe Ed Anderson. There have been folks in this club that have made a priority of going to ASU on campus or going to events, having Rotaractors come to our events, and that's contributed a great deal towards the connectivity that exists in the recent past and strengthening as we go forward. And I want to just thank and acknowledge, and if I missed anybody, I apologize, but there's a lot of great members in our club that have done and will continue to help make sure that ASU Rotaract is successful, and we will certainly grow and evolve as we get these community clubs up and going. Janet, do you have a question?
Yes, I think it's fabulous, Colleen, what you're doing and what you've done in such a short time. I'm impressed. The question that I do have, what do you see as the top age limit for Rotaract?
So today, that's a great question. Today, there is none. However, I believe there's council legislation at RI to make it 30 or 40 years old. I think they're trying to figure that out, but right now there is none. And I will also throw this out. In order to be on the council, there should be the equal number of Rotarians with an equal number of Rotaractors. and I'm light on the Rotarians. So if anybody would like to join our council, we are more than happy to welcome you. Anyway, sorry.
That's good. That's good to know,
Thank you.
Colleen. And yeah, Janet, that's a great question. And it's one that I talked with Colleen about as well. And I think Rotary's taken a real step forward in not limiting the Rotaract window to when you leave university studies, and this dual membership opportunity that would allow you to be a member of Rotary post Rotaract, and build that bridge from Interact to Rotaract. There's a lot of great foundational blocks that are being put in place that should yield outstanding results going forward. So it's kind of exciting. Any other questions?
I have one.
Go ahead, Victoria.
Are you thinking of including the technical schools like EVIT or Habit or any of those?
That's a great idea. And I'll toss this out. The challenge with, if you're at a community college, the challenge with that is they're there typically for 2 years and there's turnover. So it's hard to keep a club alive if you have it at a specific school. But I did write down EVIT because you are so right. I should go there and talk to them, especially if we open up the Gilbert or the Chandler Community Rotaract Club. And I wrote that down. So thank you, Victoria. I'm always looking, or if any of you have contacts, once we really get our website up, it's a matter of just getting you guys a QR code. Because young people don't want to read a poster, young people, they just want that QR code. So we've developed it. But thank you.
Welcome.
Any other comments or questions for Colleen today? Okay, well, Colleen, thank you so much for being here. You're welcome to stay throughout the balance of our meeting. If you need to drop, fully understand that. I will look forward to seeing you at an upcoming Rotaract meeting. And for those of you whose life is in the fast lane and exciting, but every other Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., the invitation is there from Dora Lee and Allie Gieselman and Valeria, who is a member of ASU Rotaract and on the Rotaract District Council, to physically attend one of the ASU Rotaract meetings and learn a little bit more about what they're doing and connect with the people. Just like when we have a young person who comes to one of our meetings and it immediately lowers the average age in the room. I love being that old guy at the ASU Rotaract meeting. They put me right up front. They make sure they talk loud so I can hear what's going on. They treat me great. It's fantastic. And at any time, we would be welcome to attending a Rotaract meeting in person. So just let me know. And if someone wants to go, carpooling is certainly an option as well. Parking on campus can be a bit of a challenge sometimes.
So I also would mention that those postcards were developed by Valeria.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any type of, like I overheard you a golf event, you guys should tap into Valeria. She is very creative. So, and then we also have access to Canvas through the Big West Rotaract. So we have the tools to be able to quickly pull some really unique graphics if you're interested.
Very good to know. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great morning.
You bet. Take care. Okay, very good. Thank you so much for our attention on that. A couple of items that I want to cover, and then we'll get into recognizing some birthday anniversaries and happy, sad before we close out for today. Judy Edmonds leads a small but very important local charity and giving committee. And one of the things this committee is focusing on is identifying local service opportunities for us to have hands-on involvement in helping organizations out, like the Closed Cabin, like Amanda Hope, the East Valley YMCA, and there are others as well. And what the committee discussed just yesterday afternoon was putting together a list of what those opportunities are, sharing that with our membership, and let people kind of like a la carte. Ooh, I'm interested in that. Who do I contact? How do I get more information? But just go and do. We're not going to make it a big bureaucratic thing of we have a committee chair for, let's say, Amanda Hope's nutrition pack kit opportunity or their blanket program, et cetera. We're going to try to get some examples brought into meetings in February, and I'm very hopeful that come February, we're back in the Saguaro room meeting in person again. But one of the things that I have heard from people is proud of a lot of the work that our Rotary Club does. Where are there other opportunities for me to actually hands-on be involved in a service project, as opposed to we do some fundraising, the splash and source book's very important to us, the golf tournament's very important to us, et cetera. But how do I get hands-on service project opportunities? So I want to thank Judy and that local charity and giving committee. More to come in February, and we'll have some opportunities where people can sign up for activities in that direction. Bill, thanks for the update on the golf committee work, and there is a golf committee meeting immediately following this meeting. So if you're on the golf committee, feel free to stay on the link. It's the same line I'll keep open. As Bill said, getting silent auction items, restaurant cards, golf for four, various items that people would be willing to bid on at our golf tournament, in addition to signing up the golfers. Peter, thanks so much for the status. If you missed it, we've got 47 golfers signed up, on our way to hopefully north of 150 golfers for the 13th of March. So please talk to friends, family, co-workers, anybody that you know enjoys playing a round of golf and or would like to support the Sun Lakes Rotary Club. There are lots of different ways to participate and support us. And my sister-in-law signed up. She's an individual. She says, I'm looking forward to being paired with some people that like golf, and I'll do my best to hold up my end of the bargain, if you will. But more importantly, she's going to be supporting our golf tournament. So please make sure you're reaching out to your network of people that golf and help us get folks signed up. I'll switch gears for a moment. Any questions on those items, comments? Okay, I'll keep moving. Birthdays. Sharon, the 16th of January, did I have that date correct? A very slightly belated birthday wishes for you. Dick Meyer, I think I have the 17th down for January. Dick, is that correct? Hope Dick's still with us or not. Please join me in wishing both Sharon and Dick a happy birthday. And we have a few more coming up we'll cover in next week's meeting. Anniversaries. John and Janet Hartkoff, 32 years on the 13th of January. And Judy, I know Roger's feeling under the weather right now, but I've got the 19th of January down as an anniversary for you and Roger. Hopefully next week he'll be feeling better and can maybe join on Zoom, and we'll acknowledge it at that time, okay? Very good. Happy Sad. Anybody have anything they'd like to share this week for Happy Sad? We'll start with Candy Scribala. Candy, make sure you take yourself off of mute, folks. Go right ahead.
I have $20 happy for my sister's recovery from COVID, and she is on her way here to see me now that she's feeling so much better. So I'm very excited about that.
That's outstanding. Does she golf? No, I'm kidding.
No, she doesn't. I'm hoping my brother signed up. He's recovering from COVID also.
Okay. Dan Halloran.
Yeah, $20. We're moving into our new house across the street from the Palo Verde Clubhouse. And we had it roof done, the painting inside all done, the tiling of the back bedrooms all done. It's been quite an experience, but we'll have it all moved in on the 21st. And the better news is that we have a contract on our existing home. So we will not have to have two homes together for very long.
Ah, outstanding. That is good news. Congratulations. Anyone else today on happy, sad? Christine?
Yeah, I have sad and happy. So I'll do $10 for the sad. That last week on Wednesday, our daughter slipped and fell on the ice up in Wisconsin and broke her ankle in 3 places.
Ooh,
Has to have surgery on it tomorrow. But my happy is that we're able to fly up, and we have the ability to fly up and help her get her to the surgery and take care of her 10-month-old for a while anyways. Not hopefully we'll be back the beginning of April, but it'll be a long recovery. So it'll be $10 for the sad, $10 for happy, and I'll throw another $10 in because my Uber Peter brother is going to bring us to the airport today.
hopefully some of the best Uber rates in town, Peter, for family discount. That's exciting. Judy?
Well, I'll put in 5 sad dollars because yesterday Roger got a positive test for COVID.
Yeah, very, very sad to hear that. Hope he's feeling better soon, Judy. And as we said last night, anything we can do to help, please let us know, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Debbie Bailey?
Yes, I'll put in 10 happy dollars. My son and his wife who live in Scottsdale are off on a great adventure. They traveled last Friday to Quito, Ecuador, where his wife Vicky will be doing an immersive Spanish language class for the next 4 weeks. Kaylin can work remotely from anywhere. And they will be doing a 7-day cruise of the Galapagos Islands at the end of her course before she goes home. So living the good life, you know.
I guess so. That sounds awesome. Knowing the way the cruise industry goes, I hope all that holds together. Sounds wonderful, though. Thank you.
Only 18 people on the boat. It's a very small
Oh,
catamaran.
wow. Okay.
So they feel safe doing that.
That's luxury cruising. I like that. Or I like the sounds of that, I should say. Anyone else happy, sad today? Roland Floth.
We got a happy dollar or $10. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, in case you all missed this on national news or ESPN, I had a hole-in-one on the Lakes course a week ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a 250-yard hole, and I used my wedge.
All right.
Is it the truth? Is it the truth?
I think we just found somebody that will lead the 4-way test as we end the meeting here today. I'm not sure.
Wait a minute, that hole in one, that deserved about a $300 donation to the golf tournament.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Hey, Rowan, I'm sorry, I don't remember. Is that your first hole in one, or is that add on to
The second.
the second?
Yeah, the other one was 40 years ago.
Okay, well, do me a favor. Don't wait 40 years for the third one, okay? Try to get it a little bit sooner than that, okay?
I'll do my best.
All right, very good. Anyone else today on happy, sad? Okay, very good. Now, this is the important part. Next week, the 25th of January. I think we actually have somebody who's got a birthday or anniversary on that date. We do. We've got a birthday and an anniversary. However, it's kind of important. It's our annual meeting. We'll have an election of next year's officers next year, i.e. starting July the 1st. So this meeting is going to be co-led between myself and Stephen Fair, incoming president. A couple of positions still available, but we have others where people have thrown their hat in the ring, so to speak. But we would like to have strong attendance to both support the election of the new officers, and if you have a last moment, hey, I would like to do something, here's an opportunity to step in. We are looking for a vice president for next year. Vice president comes with it the very enchanted, you get to be president 3 years from now, but you get a long run up to that in preparation. So as a reminder, Stephen takes over July 1st this year, and July of 23, Maureen Alger will take over as moving from vice president to president-elect under Stephen's year. And then whoever follows in that footsteps will be president July of 24. So we are looking for a vice president. And anybody who is at all interested in that or would like to know more about, well, what do you do as vice president and then president-elect, please reach out to either Stephen or I. And one of the reasons we have a great and a strong club is because we have people that do step up and we have people that are active in the club. And Stephen, I know you are working on a lead on a treasurer. I don't know if that's still a work in process or not, but if anybody would like to be treasurer of the club, please reach out as well. I want to acknowledge, go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah, so yeah, we have, nothing's panned out just yet. But I think the important thing is that we do have we've got a full-time bookkeeper on staff.
Yeah, we'll go into more details on that next week as well. I want to acknowledge David Mork real quick. David and Sandy have been anxiously preparing for their Mexico trip, and I'm very pleased to hear that they're going to be able to take off Saturday morning. So continue to hold good thoughts there. But we have retained outside of bookkeeping accounting service that will make the actual work content of the treasurer of this club significantly easier than it has been in the past. It's still a very important job. We absolutely have to have somebody that's committed to be in that role, but from a work content standpoint, significantly less than what it has been in the past. If you have any type of a business background at all, any type of organizing and coordinating things, that's really what critical skill set that we're going to be looking for there. So with that, we're going to wrap up. Do I have any volunteers for leading the four-way? I'm sorry, David, comment? You're on mute, or I think. David, I'm not hearing you. Is it just me or can other people hear David?
No.
No.
Talk about our move to trust bank, if you like.
Yeah, go right ahead.
As of a couple of weeks ago, all of the accounting dollars, if you will, have been moved and opened at Trust Bank, and we're leaving Bank of America.
And very proud to say these are completely unrelated. Trust
Years.
Bank.
And it's time to move it over there.
Okay, thank you, David. You're breaking up there a little bit, but thank you. And for everybody else, if you have any questions on that follow-up, you can please feel free to contact either David or myself. So Bill Crump.
Just a quick note about soliciting from businesses. Bill Shink mentioned he got $50 certificate from Black Angus. If we have a choice, it's much better for the business if we get two $25 certificates. That way, when you go in, you have to take some money out of your pocket, which the manager loves. 50, conceivably, the restaurant wouldn't make any money off it. Like John Jeffrey from Fleming's always gives us 100, but he gives us 2 50s. Twice as many people are coming in, and you have to take some money out of your pocket. Also, you know, I'm tired of saying this, but if we put Sun Lakes Rotary at the top of every bill, no matter what type of business, when you go in, it's not a cold call. They're used to seeing your name, and it really makes a difference.
Yeah, good, good reminder, good reminder. Okay. Christine, do you want to lead us out with the four-way test?
There, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, all right. Is it
the truth?
Is it the truth? Is it
fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial?
All right, very good. Golf committee, hang on. We'll be right with you. Everybody, have a good week.
You too, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one comment, being you're here,
Yes, Don, go right ahead.
regarding the DC Steakhouse.
Yes.
I know that we're giving out the gift certificates. However, talking with a few of my golfing buddies, DC Steakhouse has changed a lot, especially with their food. And it's not good.
Ooh,
Nothing but bad reports. Matter of fact, guys won't go back. It's been that bad. And I know in the past, they've had great happy hours and there've been good food, but that's not the case anymore. Maybe it'll change, you know, but I'm just saying that you're kind of giving out a certificate to a place that's not doing so well right now. And of course, the ambiance is not the same. You know, I mean, they moved the place, it's bigger, but it's very sterile. I don't know if you've been up there, but I have a number of times and it's just not the same. Anyway, just a comment.
thank
I know
you, Don.
we're stuck with it, but if you
Well-
hear anything about it, you heard something to that effect. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Don. Christine?
I was just there with my husband, I think last week, and we had great food.
Yeah.
Great,
Really?
great
Yeah.
food.
Yeah,
That's
we were there on Saturday. I felt like it was good.
So my son-in-law and wife have been twice in the last 4 months. My daughter's meal was great both times. My son-in-law, one was not so good. The second one was really good. So anytime you've got uneven and anytime you have a bad experience, that sticks with you. And so that's something to keep aware of. Bill Shink, you feel free to start. I got to go refill some coffee and I will be right back.
Okay. Does everybody have their agendas?
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, well, there was a few items that I wanted to cover, just some updates. Peter was going to place posters around the Sun Lakes Chandler area.